Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be building confidence is a process. What we're going to talk about today, I got a really great email from a viewer who basically has spent the past 6 months completely turning his life around after an 8-year relationship ended. He got to a place when he was single again, he's thinking, what do I do now? How do I find somebody else? What the fuck do I do? He says he has a lot of confidence in things in his career and going after things he wanted in life, but when it came to women or approaching women, he was always pretty intimidated and scared to put himself out there, didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do. And so I know a lot of people, when they first find my work, they're kind of in that situation where a relationship just ended, or they were dating a girl and things were going great, and then boom, things just went sideways. And they're thinking, wow, it's not very often I meet somebody like that. So he details his progress and what he's done over the past 6 months to get him to the place where he's at now. And it's great because he really goes through a great transformation. This is something that everybody, whether you're a man or a woman, can go through this transformation yourself. Because anything in life that you're not good at right now, you got to practice at getting better. That's the only way you get better. So even when you see people that are professional athletes that are at the top of their game and making the largest contracts, the reason they're there is not because they were born that way. It's because they really love what they're doing. Yeah, they've got talent and skills, but they really work at becoming awesome and really great at it. And there's a lot of people that are in the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, the Hockey League Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, who were never drafted and had to work a lot harder. They didn't have the talent, the innate natural talent that a lot of guys had. So they had to spend more time in the weight room. They had to be smarter on the field. They had to learn to develop advantages and skills that they just didn't simply naturally have. And you've probably heard me say a gazillion times in videos if you've been watching me for a while, is repetition's the mother of skill. It's like Aristotle said, excellence is not a singular act. It's a habit. You are what you do repeatedly. So I got a quote that I wrote in this particular topic, and then we're going to go through his email and see what he did to get to where he's at today. And the quote says, "No one is born with fearless confidence. Confidence is doing what you know how to do and doing it really well. We tend to overlook what successful and confident people did to become so successful and confident and assume that they were born this way. Every successful professional athlete, CEO, entrepreneur, superstar employee, etc. got that way by taking action in spite of their fears and by accepting and embracing the fact that success only comes from trying, failing, and learning from your failures. The way to become great at anything in life is to consistently rehearse and practice something you would love to become great at. Successful people are evidence that time, practice, and repetition eventually pays off. Not that you can't do it too without the same effort, passion, focus, and dedication." There was a quote that Jerry Rice, who's a Hall of Fame NFL player, it's so true. It's one of my favorite quotes, one of my favorite success quotes. He says, "Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can accomplish what others can't." That's the big difference. Successful people take action. They pursue the things they want, and they're relentless. And not only do they not give up, they keep adapting and changing their approach by noticing what's working. When something's not working, they change. They look at another way to approach things. They look at other successful people who are already succeeding at the highest level, and they either sit down and they talk with them, get their advice, or they go and they model their success and they apply the same things they've learned from those people in their own lives. Because instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, because there's only so many hours in a day, go and learn from somebody that's already figured out or is already great at what you want to do and apply the same things. And that's why I love teaching the things that I've learned over the course of my life. So somebody like this can come to me thinking, holy fuck, what do I do now? My life is over. My world is over. My girl left me. My relationship's over for 8 fucking years. What do I do now? And completely turn things around in a matter of a few short months and learn things in months that took me years and years and decades of my life to figure out. He says, "Hey, Coach Corey, I got a great news story for you. I contacted you about 6 months ago or so and engaged your teachings for the following months. Corey, you have changed my life, sir. Thank you." "You're welcome. But you did the work, my friend. I just maybe showed you the way." He says, "You remember I was very anxious about my confidence with women that I liked, which I found bizarre because I'm usually a very confident person. I had been in a long-term relationship nearly for 8 years and was very lost in my approach to finding a new partner. You told me in a video response that confidence is something that comes when you repeat something again and again. Repetition is the mother of skill and all that. How true. I gradually built myself up doing some of the things you talked about. I started small by refusing to be the first to turn my eyes away from a woman if I liked her and we made eye contact. And I discussed this. There's a video I did a few years ago. It's one of the essential fundamentals that's on the homepage of my YouTube channel. It's called Improving Your Social Skills. If you Google Corey Wayne Improving Your Social Skills, that video will come up. It's only like, I think, 8 or 10 minutes long, and it goes through a step-by-step process. If you're a guy that was in the place where he was, where just making eye contact with another human being is intimidating and it brings up feelings of fear and inadequacy inside you, if you do those little baby steps, it's like climbing a set of stairs. It's like you don't start at the bottom stair and then take one giant step and you're at the top of the stair landing. It's you put one foot in front of the other. It takes time to get to the top of the stairs. He says, then I managed to start striking up a conversation or two, even with ladies I wasn't interested in, and I'm pretty good at talking. Before I knew it, I had a period where I had a few dates lined up for the first time in a long time. I was the one choosing who I wanted to meet for a date. Some of the dates were fun, sometimes we didn't click, and either I liked them and they didn't show me any signs that they liked me back, or they liked me and I didn't feel the same. A few dates ended up in the bedroom, but the whole quick sex thing is just not my scene at all. And I've learned to see that as one of many qualities that makes me a great catch. Yeah, you appreciate anybody that goes through this. It's like when you're young, it's like you'll hump anything. You just want to get laid. You want to have sex. You want to see what it's been, because you, like, from the time you're old enough and you start feeling attraction to the members of the opposite sex, and then you get to a point where you're old enough to start doing those things, and you want to do those things, and then you can't do those things, or it doesn't happen very often. It's kind of like pizza. You know, it's like sex is kind of like pizza at times. It's like any pizza is good pizza. Any sex is good sex. But as you get older and you get more experienced, you realize that it really means a lot more if you're really into the person. Yeah, sex is great and it's wonderful and it's magic, but when you really love hanging out with somebody and you have a great time and you laugh and you tease and you make fun of each other all the time and you don't take each other or yourself or life too seriously and you just focus on enjoying your time together, that's fucking magical. Making love versus having sex, it's a night and day fucking experience. He says, anyway, I was visiting some friends abroad recently and not too far from home. I live in Europe. And Corey, I met this girl out there that in my eyes is a complete and 100% 10 out of 10. Hell, she's an 11, man. She completely and utterly blows me away and she feels exactly the same. That's the way it's supposed to be. Now you notice what he said is he went through a lot of women. He dated a lot of women, went on a lot of dates. Sometimes he was really into the women. And sometimes they weren't into him at all. And other times he would go out and he wasn't into the women at all, but they were really into him. It's just a matter of a process of elimination. Eventually you find somebody where just everything lines up and boom, there's a great connection. And that's why it's so important to treat all women the same and apply the things that I teach in my book, because when these moments happen, then you're prepared. You've done the work. You've been through the process enough times, the seduction process especially, if that's something you need to get good at. And then when you meet somebody that really knocks your socks off and you really click, it happens like it does in the movies. Without all the bullshit, pussy-like behavior that you see in the movies. You're able to meet somebody and start a love story. You go out on one date and it's like, boom, you're always together after that. He says, I can't tell you how thankful I am for all the advice you offer on your videos, your book, and your website. When I met her, it was like everything I learned came into play. I immediately went up to her and started talking. She was incredible, so funny, unbelievably beautiful, intelligent, creative, just amazing. After a couple of days of hanging out, doing interesting things, I went for a walk with her in the beautiful town, and I just couldn't resist in taking her by the hands, gently bringing her in close, looking her directly in the eyes, and without any sense of anxiety at all, I told her that she was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, and I wanted her. Fucking awesome, dude. You believe that. You were totally congruent with that statement. There's conviction in the way you said that. It came from your heart. That's authentic. And that's what I talk about giving an authentic compliment. It's say what you really want to say, what's really on your mind. He says she was bowled over, Corey, completely. The rest, they say, is history. We're in a long-distance relationship now, but we're not that far apart, only 2 to 3 hours on a plane, and we have lots of planned visits over the coming months. Today, much later on, I'm actually going back to her country to surprise her for a few days. She has no idea, but I know she'll love it. Slow down a little bit there, cowboy. Think about it. What if she's got plans? Unless you know that she's got nothing going on and she's going, God, I'd really love to see you. Like, oh, I really can't make it. But maybe I'll surprise you. If something like that, okay. But just showing up out of the blue, it's like, hey, I'm here. Drop what you're doing and spend time with me. That's a little creepy, dude. I'd be very careful with that. I would never hop on a plane and go fly 2 or 3 hours away and just show up at somebody's door like that. That's a bad way to go. And you just slow the fuck down, dude. You don't want to chase her away. Just start it off. Easy. What's the rush? I know you're happy and you're excited, but it doesn't mean going back to the old ways that you were before you found my work. He says, there's so much more I could say about all this, but ultimately I just want to thank you. You really helped me realize so many things. I'm a catch. Confidence comes from doing something again and again. Even with the most beautiful woman in the world can find me attractive because attraction is not a choice. Also, here's something I heard a friend of mine say to me a little while ago that really resonates with your teachings. Love shouldn't complete you. It should add to you. That's fucking great. That's so true. He says, most importantly, you helped me realize that I deserve to be happy. I'm eternally grateful, Corey. If I hadn't encountered your work, then I would have seen her in a bar I was in a few months back, looked at her and thought, wow, what a beautiful woman who's way out of my league. No point in going up to her and getting rejected, etc. Bullshit, right? He says, but thanks to your advice, the outcome has been very, very different and better than I once thought possible. Well, dude, I commend you for doing the work on yourself and starting off this really great love story. But like I said, I personally wouldn't just hop on a plane and fly there and expect her to drop whatever she's doing and blow off her friends and family and anything else she may have planned just to spend time with you. That can create problems, dude. It's still early in the relationship, so just chill out, dude. There's not like a mad dash to the altar. It's like you took your time getting to the point where you are now, but remember, infinite patience. Think from the end. Of course it's going to work out. Of course we're going to end up together. Think like James Bond would think. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You could choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.